Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Super Metroid Multi-Category Extension Tournament. Tonight we have Max% GT Code featuring Bands with Legends and Professor School in the Battle for Seattle. So this is going to be a really exciting race. This was definitely a category that was agreed upon between the runners, and it should be a really exciting match. And with me today, oh, by the way, I am Cat-Ext, and with me today is Mr. Guy Average.
Hey, yeah, this is gonna be a great one. I love that little, subheader there, Battle for Seattle. Um, it's gonna be sick. These two runners are very equally matched.
Yeah, their PBs are pretty close in all the categories across the extension categories, and I know both of the runners have been working very hard, grinding down their times, and this is one of Professor School's very favorite categories. And Bands with Legends is also extremely good at Max% GT codes, so this could be a really close matchup.
Yeah. It looks like we have some difficulty with the timer. Bands has had a few issues right now. Um, let's see if I can sort this out. 1 second.
All right, well, that's going on. We'll just take a moment here. It looks like basically what it is Bands is having a tough time in race time getting an accurate timer. So he wasn't exactly sure when it was time to start the race. So Mr. Guy Average is going to try to pull it together, and it's likely we will have a restart here. So if everybody can just hang in there for a little bit while we work through the technical details here, and hopefully everything will be fine. It looks like both runners' streams are pretty good. So once we get the countdown ready and we're able to start the race on time for both of the runners, we'll kind of get going into it. So in the meantime, I will tell you a little bit about Max% GT code. So Max% GT code exploits a developer's debug code, which has been referred to as the GT code, as in Golden Terrizzo, because it happens as you go into Golden Terrizzo's room while GT is still alive. And basically, what you do is you hold down all four face buttons, and it resets all your data and grants you 7 E-tanks, 3 full reserve tanks, 100 missiles, 20 super missiles, 20 power bombs, and all the movement and major upgrades with the exception of screw attack. So, what is Max% GT code? Well, we're going to exploit that code and then kind of do almost like a hundo or a reverse hundo in some cases, or a weird hundo in other cases, and pick up all the minor items that we left behind on the way to GT. We're going to pick up all the E tanks, all the reserve tanks. We don't need to do any majors, and we're trying to get all the runners are trying to get to 135%. Now, how that works is we have a very difficult low percent front run where our runners cannot pick up any E-tanks. They can only pick up one missile pack, one super missile pack, one power bomb pack, and any major upgrades. They can pick up major upgrades because they don't affect the count at the end of it, because the game just checks to see whether you have them or not. Whereas all the minor items and the E-tanks and reserve tanks, you actually have to physically pick those up in order to get that to count for your percentage. So it ends up you're getting the least amount of stuff possible that you can handle in order to get to GT's room with a very volatile front half. Most likely, our runners are going to be picking up the Varia suit and then going to Fantoon, picking up the Gravity suit. There's a green gate glitch, just like in the other GT categories, and execute the GT code, and then it gets pretty wild after that. Yeah, it does look like the problem is race time GG. So just hang in there, everybody. I'm sure we'll be able to sort this out. All right, so quick update. It looks like when our runners are ready, Mr. Guy Average is going to do a manual countdown through Discord for our racers because it doesn't look like there's any problem with the restream for them. So we should be starting here in a moment. In the meantime, if you have any questions in chat about max percent GT code or any of our runners, feel free to shoot those in there. You know, as the race is going on, it's a pretty long category. We might get a chance to pop in chat and see if we can answer any questions. As a Max GT runner myself, I'm very, very excited that this is the category that was picked tonight, and super excited that it was really a fixture in the tournament. We've had a lot of runners run Max GT code, and we've had things from multiple resets on the green gate glitch, runners opting not to save and then failing the green gate glitch. We've had some really, really close ones too that ended on Mother Brain, of all places. And we've had some matches that were huge upsets in this category where a runner that was expected to win had some really bad stuff happen to him. And then, so there you go. Ooh, we've got action on Band's side. I see the cursor moving. Must mean we're getting close.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should be good now. We had to use Discord to count down instead of the race time. Yeah. Pretty
Well,
weird. I've never come across that issue ever. Yeah.
me neither, but MGA, you are the MVP. You got this game
Thank
rolling for us tonight.
Yeah, hopefully now we're all set in. We're ready to see some sick max percent action.
I think one of the coolest things about Max Percent is not just the differentiations in the routes and the item selection, which major upgrades that our runners choose, but also to see what kind of swaggy strats they use in the Max Percent section once you've executed the GT code, got past all the volatility, and then it's just absolute quality crisp Super Metroid movement with, just fully decked out. It's going to be super exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, the volatility and like there's a lot of subtleties to the first like early game section before GT code. So yeah, it'd be really cool to see what safeties they pick up because it's restrictive, but at the same time it's like the very specific ones that you choose, which are only major items, right? Like as you've touched upon.
Yeah.
They change a lot of the strats by a lot, even though your main route is mostly the same. Like, not having high jump but having speed booster, it changes a lot of rooms. Um, and then also getting Spazer, and then I think Bands gets Wave Beam for Fantoon.
Oh yeah.
So then that changes a lot of the different routes for sure. So it'd be really cool to see, yeah, the early game and then the late game. It's very fast paced, like you have Hundo style movement, but the strats that you can do throughout each of the rooms is so varied, and they're all about like the same speed too. So yeah, it'd be really cool to see what they go for and stuff like that.
And we're actually in for a pretty big treat too with both of these runners because they are both running completely different routes. I know from watching in the tournament that Bands with Legends likes I believe it's a clockwise style cleanup in pink and green Brinstar, whereas Prof will
True,
go
yeah.
for the more traditional counterclockwise cleanup. So there's going to be differences once they get past the volatility. And then I do know that Bands does get Wave Beam because he loves X Factors on Fantoon. Prof, on the other hand, Prof is a competitor. Prof wants to win bad. I think Prof might normally take Spazer as a safety, but I'm not sure. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Prof skip that just to get a little leg up on Bands because both of these runners have extraordinary movement.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I totally expect Prof to go for Doppler. He does late ice, or sorry, early ice for Hundo, the late croc. So in that, you really have to do Dopplers on Fantoon.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting strategy because you're looking to do Dopplers on Fantoon with only one missile pack. So during the Fantoon fight, you have to shoot the flames and try to keep some missiles on screen so that you can get a really efficient Doppler. And so, anyways, we're off already. Our runners have defeated Ceres Station. They've, gotten to this section of the game. Both have Moonwalk engaged, and we're going to head to the Morph Ball. And here comes all the low percent stuff. And so, MGA, let's say our runners, just out of habit, pick up the Terminator E-Tank because they would do that in literally every other run that they would do. What happens then?
Yeah, so before GGG, that's a 1 minute penalty for picking up extra items. Usually your run would just be invalid.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of like destroys the sort of competitive spirit that we want for this tournament. And just to have fun, really. Like, we don't want to force people to forfeit, right? Just because, I mean, most of these runners know that you're not supposed to pick it up. It was just an accident, obviously. So that's why we put the 1 minute penalty in place. And then after the GT code, it's still 1 minute, but it might depend. Might change, depending on how it's all case by case basis for the most part. But hopefully, no one forgets anything. That's the main goal that we're all hoping for. Is that as long as both runners finish with 135%, it's a win.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I had a GT Max GT code run earlier that I ended up with 131 items because I completely forgot about the early supers room. And with all the revisit you do in this category, it's really easy to skip an entire section of items. So it's not just super volatile in the beginning because of the low percent. It's super tricky as well because you have to revisit areas, make sure you don't forget any items. And oh my goodness, already Prof is having a really difficult time in the climb, and Bands did not have a normal climb for them either. So I wonder if, the little snafu in the beginning of the race has the runners a little tilted ahead of time, but I'm pretty sure that their movement will lock in pretty soon. This is a long run. We're looking at, anywhere with, as good as these runners are, anywhere from a low 120 to a mid 120 time if their PBs say anything about it. So I imagine their movement is going to snap in really quick. And I don't know about you, but I always get those race nerves right away. In the first 5 minutes of the run, I feel are like some of the most intense because you're just like, all right, there's no resets. This is it.
Yeah. It's funny too because I would usually say, oh, the run doesn't really start until GT code. But with max percent, like if you think about it, like you have Fantoon if you're going the gravity route, or if you do the Varia route, you have the lava dive. So if you can get past those like big tricks, I guess you could say the run starts. But there's a lot that goes on in the early game and in the late game. So I can totally see like nerves happening pretty quick, pretty early on.
Yeah, and Prof already having a really difficult GT fight. Now you're looking here, our runners, the first major hurdle for our runners here is going to be skipping the Terminator E-Tank, so we'll see if they play it safe. I've started to go for just kind of doing a little morphing while I'm jumping right over the E-Tank and just kind of, morphing right through the enemies there. And Bands already, wow, killer strat right there from Bands, just taking out both of those waivers. And all right, nice job. They both skipped the Terminator E-Tank, so I think for this category, the next most tricky thing to forget about is the high jump E-Tank, because that's another one that is featured in just about every other category you would run. So in addition to the hard movement and low percent, they're going to have to watch out for their energy, and they're also going to have to make sure that they're not picking up things just out of habit.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't know why, but that never really registered when I was grinding max percent. I heard so many people like, "Oh, dude, high jump E-Tank is actually the worst one to remember to skip." And it makes sense to me now because like you have to jump over the E-Tank and do the little the K go through the crumble blocks, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then so sometimes when you're trying to like just cut that jump a little too short, you accidentally grab it because the optimal way to do it is to very barely graze over it. So yeah, the strat is essentially the same. It's just do a little bit of a sloppier jump. Compared to Terminator, where it's like actually the waivers and the gamers and all those things are in your way, so you actually have to come up with a different strat to skip that E-Tank. So I guess
Yeah,
you can really differentiate it in your mind.
Yeah, I think with the Terminator E-Tank being early in the run, it's kind of easier to do it. But then, sometimes when you're, 7, 8, 9 minutes into a run, you start kind of going on autopilot. So, but they both successfully skipped the charge missiles just like you would in 100%, and both picking up charge beam. Now, charge beam is really important as a safety. It can lend a little extra firepower to what you're doing. And like we know, Bands will go for X factors, so he does need charge beam in order to do the X factor on Fantoon. But also, whether you intentionally enrage Fantoon or accidentally enrage Fantoon, it's really a great safety to have charge beam just so you can do some pseudo screws and avoid that enrage pattern.
Yeah, to me, it makes more sense to skip it in a short category like GT Classic. But if you go the gravity route with max percent, there's so much more that you have to do in the run before you get the GT code that it really sort of minimizes the time loss that you get by having to grab charge beam, to the point where it's actually slightly faster to pick up charge beam, because your max missile count is only 5.
Yep, that definitely makes sense. Some really good movement here through Red Tower, and Prof is skipping Spazer. Bands has already skipped Spazer, so Prof is most likely going to take a little bit of a lead, assuming he doesn't get the doesn't get the high jump E tank. Prof will probably start taking a bit of a lead as Bands will detour to wave, and we also have to see what our friend Kraid is going to do over here. Both runners making really good entrances into Kraid's lair, and we have actually seen some missed quick kills cause runners, big time loss in the early game.
Yeah, with the charge beam, you have a little bit of a backup, so that's nice. But yeah, the Kraid quick kill, definitely. It's not free. It's not free. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I am expecting. I know, Mr. Guy Average. I know that you do not get high jump boots, and I don't think MM2 gets high jump boots either in their max GT run. And Stus Ream, I would say, well, he has so many different routes, you never know what he's going to get. But I do expect both of these runners to pick up high jump boots, a good race safety, and sometimes it's really hard to make up for the time you save by skipping it just on movement. So we have some questions in chat about the route. Basically, what they're going to do is, so they've both executed really good Kraid quick kills. They're both picking up the Varia suit. My expectation is that they're going to go get high jump boots, and then after high jump boots, they need speed because that's how they're going to get over the moat. So they're going to head into, the rest upper Norfair. They're going to get the speed. Bands is going to get wave beam, and then Prof is just going to head straight toward Fantoon, and we're going to see an Alpha Power Bombs pickup. So unlike GT Classic, when you pick up Alpha Power Bombs before you go down to Norfair, you're going to see these runners pick up Alpha Power Bombs on the way to Fantoon. And you'll see exactly why they need Speed Booster is they're going to have to get across the moat without picking up the moat missile, because that would, that would cause them to be unable to get 135%.
Yep. There, like you said, Susrame, he has a lot of wacky routes, so it is possible to skip Speed Booster and still get Gravity Suit. But it's so much more like complex, and there's a lot of other things that you need to do in it. To the point where it almost makes it seem like Lava Dive, or sorry, the Lava Dive route is faster, or not faster, but easier. Obviously, it's faster, but it's easier.
Yeah. I'm definitely, okay, both runners getting over high jump boots, no problem. I'm kind of more, I really like Seuss Ream's route with that really sick bomb jump over the moat. I don't even know how that's possible. It's like some kind of arcane sorcery, if you ask my opinion. But that's really cool stuff. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing that kind of swag from these runners today, but they're doing the more traditional max percent GT route. And so far, really tight race. We just have ProfessorSchool is just seconds ahead of Bands, pretty much a door transition and half a room. So I'm kind of hoping this stays like this the whole race.
Yeah, Vans is gonna have to get that wave beam, but hopefully, as long as nothing too, horrible happens with the fight, he will be saving time with that X Factor.
Not only will he be saving time because Bands is usually extremely good at executing the X Factor strat. It'll save time just on the amount of rounds for Fantoon, but Fantoon RNG can come into play, and who knows what kind of pattern these runners are going to get.
Yeah, Fantoon is very annoying.
So it looks like both runners' movement is just on point right now. So all those little hiccups in the early game, it looks like our runners have found their stride. Prof doing a little quick farm. Now we're going to head down and get the speed booster, and that's exactly, we're going to shine spark over the moat. So that's why we're picking up this item right now. And then it's going to be a matter to see how bands, can either make up for it in movement or with a quicker Fantoon fight. We'll see if this wave beam ends up being the right pick.
Oh, I just realized also, Bands is gonna have to skip the wave missiles. That's something that never registered with me when getting wave
Oh,
beam early.
yeah.
That is sort of like a little bit more risk.
It is a little bit more risk, and without that kind of momentum you have there, now you got to understand these runners just have Varia suit, and they do not have an E-tank. So Bands is going to have to be really clean going through Bubble Mountain. Try not to take any unnecessary damage in order to get this. Maybe he's going to have to potentially risk a spike hit if he doesn't
Yeah.
get a good enough jump to make it to the wall. You could Kago. I was going to say you could Kago the Waver. That was really, or the Ripper. That was really smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to take that hit. You don't want to get hit by the spikes with only Various Suit. That'll do way too much damage. And you have 0 E-tanks. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, not only, I mean, there are places to farm. Bands didn't think he quite had that jump. Lost a few frames there, but here comes the really exciting part. So you have to get your alpha power bombs, and you're trying to conserve as much energy as you can, really, because you're entering a Fantoon fight with no tanks, only Various suit, and you got to take deboost damage to get your alpha power bombs. You're probably going to take some damage there, like Prof doing a nice damage boost to get through the room faster. We'll see a little bit of farming in Hellway, but they pretty much want to leave Red Tower, and they want to leave alpha power bombs with hopefully full super missiles, and as many power bombs as they can hold on to for a little bit later after the Fantoon fight. Power bombs will be really important. Heck in Red Tower. Prof is playing very aggressively.
Yeah, just with the little hiccup in Red Tower, but everything else looked really good. Yeah, we'll see. I think Bands does the hero shot with Wave Beam too, so that'll be neat to see.
Yeah, and both of these runners are extremely well experienced Hundo runners. I think Bands has time of 123 or lower. I know Prof has a 121 in Hundo. So, these runners are able to run this game with a multitude of loadouts, and Bands with this Hundo experience should have no problem with this hero shot here. Well executed. Oh, I thought he was going to get top Vile Plume. That would have been bad. They eat you twice. Oh no, Prof. Ooh, that's not this. So this is not good health for Prof right now. The only opportunity Prof has to farm health is from the Covern and the Atomics once he gets to wreck ship. So 46 health. And Prof is going to be definitely looking. Oh, Bands is taking the Fantoon save, whereas Prof just went after it.
Yeah, 46 health, a bit scary.
Yeah, you better lay that. I find, first off, you don't want to get hit by those Coverns, because that's not a one-hit KO. Do they do 30 damage, or is he at one-hit KO?
I don't think so. I think they do 40 damage, but it's not a one-hit KO.
He's gonna have to be quick with his power bomb so he gets as much health. Maybe get all three. Come on.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that Covern disappeared too quick, but 86 is okay. A runner of Prof's caliber should be able to do okay with 86.
Usually come in with like 60, because of the moat or the spark you have to do, over the moat. So yeah, 86 is perfectly fine in my opinion.
Yeah,
You can,
yeah. For me, I want to be at 99. Usually, I get in there fast enough. I get the covert too, and I get enough drops. But yeah, Prof is a really talented runner, so I'm not too concerned right now. Already almost at full energy, just from the flame drops.
yeah, being full on missiles helps.
Yeah, and that was a nice evade from Prof right there. Now, right here, you're hoping to farm some of the flames, so you don't really want a fast pattern. And ooh, so charge it up, Prof. So this is a good use, I feel, of the temporary enrage there, or the intentional enrage. It's going to cost Prof a little bit of time, but he's going to be safe. And you know, he would have had to wait another entire pattern, which could have possibly been a 12-second slow. And if he had to wait for that whole pattern with no missiles at that point, it was probably just better to hit that super.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. If you don't get the RNG, you can't have a fast fight. So it's like Fantoon any percent on steroids.
Yeah. It gives Bands a little bit of chance to catch up. So we'll see what kind of patterns that Bands gets. And we know Bands is going to go for X factors, and Bands is usually really good at these X factors. So I'm hoping to see these connect. But we're at 24 health. Now, Bands has finished a fight with, I think, 1 energy at Fantoon. So it was really, really hairy. And I think Bands quipped. He's like, well, one's all you need, right? You know, as long as you have one, you're okay.
Pretty much.
Oh, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, missed those particles. So Bands is really going to have to be careful here. Going to have
very
to farm up
nice.
some energy. I thought he was going to go for another X Factor. That would have been instant death. Oh, come on, Bands. All right, he's okay. Oh, no.
Only supers, wow. When you get
That,
like a 5% drop instead
jeez,
of
are
the
you kidding?
20%.
Oh, nice health grab there. Oh, no. Oof. So it looked like Bands was going to have a little bit of luck there and ended up in Fantoon the same time as Prof. Just not getting really good RNG here from Fantoon. Obviously a little bit frustrated. But finishes the fight, and Bands is all right. Bands has survived. Meanwhile, Prof is going to, has already tackled the attic. Wow, watching Bands, that must have been a really quick and good attic from Prof.
Yeah, I missed it too. I think he went for the blue suit though, judging by his ammo. So very well done.
Yeah, that's a really good strat. I saw Cash Mod do that strat in his Max GT run, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why am I not doing that? Why am I blowing all my ammo? That's, it's a good hundo strat. So, I would definitely say a well practiced hundo runner has a big advantage in this category.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I really like the blue side, the blue suit left side attic. For this category, it's a must.
Oh
Because
yeah,
if you're low resource,
I was going to say Prof did a stellar job getting through bowling with just 2 hits. So if Prof had taken one more hit, he still would have been okay. He would have been at 9 energy. But the next hurdle, almost a beautiful speed keep there from Bands. Going to finish off with ammo right there. But the next thing Prof has to worry about are the fish in the ocean, and then the crabs, which we've seen the crabs. Prior to Red Tower, there we've seen that end. At least one runner's run in the category in the tournament so far. I always forget what that room is called with the crabs.
we just call it criteria key under room. Pretty boring or pre-mote.
Pre-mode, I love it. Prof evading the fish, no problem. Oh, and Prof also has to make sure he doesn't pick up these missiles as well. Nice bowling from Bands. Prof is safe. We're still safe. We're still within no penalty zone for our item count. Prof going for the pseudo screw and nails it. That can be a little bit hairy there.
Yeah, and gets some power bomb drops, which is nice. You want to have, I think. Oh wait, since you have speed, you actually only need like 2, I guess.
Yeah, and you could also farm the power bombs from the those blue guys in pre-lava dive room.
Yeah. It's just a little bit faster to have him here, but yeah, not too big of a problem anyways.
Yeah, now Prof not saving before Fantoon. I'm not expecting him to save before Lava Dive either. And it's really not, for runners of this caliber, it's really not that hard to get through Lava Dive with a gravity jump. Although in my stream earlier, I was like, oh yeah, I never die here. And then I just kind of wasn't paying attention and I completely died there. So it's still very volatile.
Yeah, as long as you know what you're doing, not too bad.
So pretty much what the gravity jump is through the lava dive is the runners are going to take advantage of gravity physics, and they're going to pause it right when they've just activated their jump, and they're going to menu off the gravity suit, and then they're going to use their velocity from that jump to carry them through the lava. I don't know. The acid. I think Mr. Guy Average could probably explain that strat better than I did.
You got it. It's like so you use the acceleration and the velocity, the initial velocity that you get from gravity, and then you turn it off. And when you turn it off, now you have the deceleration of the lava physics. So with a high velocity and a low deceleration, you just shoot straight through the lava, and with that initial velocity. So super sick tech that it's even possible in this game.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Areas.
Yeah, you see a lot of rando runners do that in Meridia, and I think Low Percent might also use that in Meridia, the gravity jump. And there's also different gravity jumps you could do in some categories, like the fast entry in RBO in North Korea percent, the fast entry in Meridia, which is a suitless gravity jump, and same thing coming out of the Precious Room in that category as well. Getting into the Coliseum, you can do that kind of a jump. So here it is right now. Prof is setting up for it. We're going to see, you want to menu, and I think you just barely, you don't want to see the jump, you want to hear the jump. And then this was really very well done from Prof. Didn't even need a wall jump. And you see that, the amount of energy that took. So that's pretty much what the entire detour through Creighton Fantoon, well, you needed to go Varia because you're going to be in Lower Norfair, but that's the whole detour up to gravity. That is exactly why we did that, to enable them to do that lava jump. Now, you can do a tankless lava jump without the gravity suit, but it is like ridiculously hard. Like Mr. Guy Average and 3 or 4 other people have times with that, and like nobody else.
Yeah, and even in my run, I failed it like 7 times before I even got it. It's really dumb.
And somebody says the developers know this game is so perfectly designed. They designed gravity jumps, they designed suitless runs, they designed the GT code. Deer Force knew. Oh, Prof.
Awesome.
I mean, that's got to feel good. I don't want to throw Prof under the bus, but it was the GGG that cost him, a chance for, a full race against you, Mr. Guy Average. So I know Prof has definitely earned that, has grinded the hell out of the Green Gate glitch, and that was perfectly executed. GT code executed, and now here comes the really, really fun and swaggy ball. Prof, remember to turn off Spazer. That was almost Harry right there.
Even I forgot, honestly. I was like,
yeah.
Oh wait, what is he doing? Why isn't he charging his plasma? And I'm like, oh, that's right, you have to turn off Spazer.
Holy cow. I mean, if Prof had fired a shot, it would have crashed the game, and Prof doesn't have a save, so Prof would have been dead on arrival right there.
I think he did save before GT code. Or sorry,
did
GG,
he? Okay.
But, yeah, I think he did. And let's see how it goes for bands. Oh. That was the correct frame, not the right height, but he still got it, so we have a race.
Thank goodness he got it. Oh no, get out of the acid. We have a race. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten through the GGG and then died in the acid.
Yeah.
Come on, GT code.
Been there before.
Success. All right, folks, it is now coming down to a battle of movement. All right, so first weird thing we're going to see. Prof is going to be going back for the GT missiles because there's really no RTA viable way to get the GT missiles without circling around just like this. So Prof is going to circle around, get the GT missile, and we see that Bands is not going to be too far behind. But I want to say Prof has, roughly at least 45 seconds to a minute on Bands right now. Maybe 45, maybe 45 seconds. It's a little
Yeah.
closer than I thought it would have been after that Fantoon fight.
It looks to be closer to a minute to me.
Okay.
But yeah, it's it's not unrecoverable.
No, not at all. This is
Yeah.
a really cool strat that I've seen bands work on right there, that spring ball strat. So if you want to watch, so Prof has great strats, Bands has great strats, but I know for a fact from watching both of these runners that a lot of the rooms you're going to see, they're going to execute much differently. So it's actually kind of cool that Bands is going to be following Professor School right now, because we're going to be seeing how they engage these rooms differently. There's a question in chat: why did Professor turn off Varia? And it is exactly, oh, you answered that, Mr. Guy Everett. Fantastic.
And then yeah, so bands picked up wave at the beginning. That wasn't even most of the time loss though. That was mostly Fantoon. So um, even with the wave pickup, Fantoon was still annoying.
Yeah, and with Bands being this close to Prof right now, it'll be interesting to see if his movement or his strats can help him catch up. And then, another thing about Varia is Varia basically does all the same thing Gravity does until you get into Turian. And when you're in Turian, Varia really only affects Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam and the baby Metroid.
Yeah, so when you have Varia off, the baby does double damage and the rainbow beam does double damage. And that's actually that's a good thing, right, for this category because you have so much health. You have
Yeah.
7 more E-tanks. Or is it 7?
Yeah,
No,
7
sorry.
more.
Wait. Let me do math. I think it's actually 14 more E-tanks.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, because you get 7 from the GT code, and then you have to go and pick up all 14 E-tanks. So you're
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. So that's pretty exciting, and actually, imagine. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. But if one of the runners misses baby skip, then yeah, you definitely want that Varia suit off. Otherwise, it's going to take a really long time for the baby Metroid to, exhaust all your health. I can't wait to see these Metal Pirate strats right here. This is a really beautiful set of 3 rooms if Prof can do it right. Oh no.
Oh, that was really strange. Yeah, that should have killed the pirate. But his beam had some weird velocity to it and just skipped right through.
Super Metroid, dude. It just it's like the game knows it's a race. It's not going to let you get all your strats.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but that opens the door a little bit for bands to catch up, and let's see how this Ridley fight goes for Professor School. We're looking for 20 shots with the full beam combo. Looks like Prof is going to pepper in some super missiles there, and you know what? You might as well. They do more. They do more DPS than the beam does, and you're not going to be short for supers for too much in this category. You can afford to use a few on Ridley for some time. Oh no, Band's having trouble in that set of rooms as well.
Oh, very nice fight from Professor School.
Yeah, that was a quick one.
Just as Bands is entering.
I want to say Bands made up a good 20 seconds there.
I think he did, yeah. He made up a little bit of time. About like 40 seconds behind, maybe, I'd say.
It looks like Bands is going to go with the supers as well. Having a slightly cleaner fight right now than Prof. We'll see if it's just as fast.
As long as Ridley isn't mean. He should be dead now.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a really, really solid Ridley. And really good reverse powerhouse from Professor School right there. Solid. Let's see if he gets the spring ball tech here. Nailed it. And the clip. Oh no, and lays a power bomb. A little bit of lag. Excellent string of rooms from Professor School. So going through the rest of Lower Norfair right now is strictly hundo. So we're not going to see any deviations from the hundo route until our runners get to Upper Norfair. When our runners get to Upper Norfair, they're going to go to Speed Booster Room to get this. I'm sorry, they're going to go to Wave Beam to get the Wave Missiles, and then after that, they're going to go to Speed Booster Hallway to get the Speed Missiles, and that's where we're going to see one of the marquee signature max percent GT code tricks, which I hope our runners are able to pull off so we can point that out. Because I don't believe that's a strat that we see in any other category that's run.
No, yeah. You generally don't have speed booster before speed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could do it in GT Classic, but that would be really slow.
All right, time to make a category called GT Classic All Missiles.
Oh, gosh. Let's see if Bands gets this nice Firefleet D-boost. The setup looks pretty good. Nice. Oh, misses the double D-boost. That's a really cool tech. I think I want to say I saw Zenny grind that first.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I've actually never seen that before. Didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, it might have been Zost, it might have been Zenny. I saw one of them do it during practice at one time, and they found a way to deboost off of the flea, land on the other flea, and then deboost on that other flea over the claw, which I was like, wow, that's really, you got to be quick for that.
Yeah.
So cool for Bands to pull off that obscure, or almost pull off that kind of obscure strat. So worth noting that our runners have all the movement items. We just saw Professor School use the spring ball. So the GT code, in addition to the ammo and E-tanks it gave us, we have 3 reserve tanks that are already full, and all the movement. So, every major item, they have grapple, they have X-ray, you just can't see it. Beautiful deboost from Professor School right there. Bands just clawing his way over there. And here's where that deviation is. So Prof is going to get these missiles right now, and then head in Speed Booster Hallway. Oh, Bands. That's such a, man, heck one tile gaps. That's all I'm saying.
Breach. Heck one tile gaps.
And we've lost Bands.
Oh.
Heck.
Kind of felt like his power went out or something.
I hope
His
his game
timer's
didn't
still...
crash. Well, let's hope everything's okay with Bands. Oh, no, Prof. I do not think we're going to see the strat. I don't think Prof has enough frames left to pull this off.
Oh. It
Oh,
looks
no.
like Bands' retro art crashed.
Oh, that
I
sucks.
thought it looked like a crash. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, it's very unfortunate. So Bands is kind of thinking about what to do right now. Looks like Professor School is opting to go into the North Fair Reserve first. Sometimes you see runners will go down and pick up those Bubble Mountain missiles first, and then come up and get the North Fair Reserve. But Prof is going to go pretty much with Hundo right here. Yeah, I don't know what Bands is going to. I don't know what Bands should do here. I gotta tell you, this is the first I've seen in this tournament or any tournament where we've had something like this happen. We've had streams crash before, but I don't think we've seen an actual RetroArch crash before. So that's pretty much of a bummer for Bands. Prof, meanwhile, nailing this really nice deboost off the waiver to get down to these Bubble Mountain missiles. So I wonder if Bands is looking for a save state of some sort. brutal. So, anyways, while we're figuring out with what to do about Bands, if Bands is going to forfeit, we're going to see or find a way to continue on. Professor School is going to make this loop right now. We're skipping Ice Beam. It's a major item. There's absolutely no need to get it. Prof is going to get this missile right now and then head down and fight Crocomire because we have some items down there. After you fight and defeat Crocomire, you have to get the Croc Escape missiles, and this is the most optimal way to do it. So that's basically why you go through Cathedral, get the Cathedral missiles, and then after that, you skip the Ice Beam and then go this route right here. So here goes Prof, and we have microwave capability. So Prof is going to basically charge up his plasma shot and boom. Oh, not microwave. I'm just sorry. That's just a one-shot kill for Croc with the full wave beam combo, because in the vanilla game, the intended route, the game does not expect you to have the full beam combo here at Croc. So does plenty of damage. One-shot KO for Croc. And Prof going to do this wraparound shot, get the E-Tank, and go down and get Croc's items. I feel so bad for Bands. Talk about a runner who's just so prepared for this category, so prepared for these races. Just really, really a bummer. So it looks like Prof is stopping to kind of figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really foresee this, so we'll try and take care of this and see what we can do.
Practice ROM? If you could do that, could you load the practice ROM with all the GT settings, max GT settings, and then get...
Yeah, there are some presets. Think so, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that... Well, the practice ROM doesn't have fanfares, though, or can you activate fanfares?
You can add fanfares, yes. Yeah, I'm sorting this out with the runners right now, in the race channel. We'll see what we come up with.
Well, regardless of what we come up with, we want to thank everybody for being here tonight so far. So, while they're working this out, it's worth noting that you should go follow Bands with Legends and Professor School, both really solid Super Metroid runners, and Thanks to Speed Gaming for setting us up with this. It's funny. Anytime you do a live event, you're never quite prepared for what you might have to deal with. So, fortunately, Mr. Guy Average is one of our admins for the tournament and trying to come up with a solution that both runners are comfortable with. So we'll have an update for you shortly. We're coming to an accord.
Yeah, it looks like I think we're gonna reach a solution. Most likely we'll see if Professor wants to finish out his run.
So, a very good chance that Prof is going to continue his run. We'll have an update for you pretty soon. Because, tragedy aside, the show must go on. So I think we have an excellent display of sportsmanship. And we've reached an accord for Prof to continue right now, and then bands will continue at another time. So when Mr. Guy Average comes back on the mic and Prof begins his run, we'll let Mr. Guy Average, one of our main admins, kind of fill you in on exactly how we're going to piece this together and come up with a time that's competitive before they get into their other ones.
Yeah, okay. So we do have another race coming up soon, on Speed Gaming. So, for now, I think we're gonna have Professor finish out his run. Um, we can't restreaming it anymore. Yeah, this is kind of unfortunate. I didn't really plan for this to happen. I guess I should have seen this coming, but um, Bands is gonna have to do an offline run some other time. And then we'll just have Professor finish out here. Um, yeah. So sorry about all that, guys. Thanks to everyone for being here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I just got another update. Looks like we are still going here. They're gonna move the tournament to another channel. So never mind. Yeah, I think we're back with let's see,
Here we
Prof
go.
started, yeah, and he restarted his timer. Cool. So yeah, that was unfortunate. Bands is going to have to do another run offline, where he crashed. And then we're gonna discuss this after the race once Prof finishes up a little bit further, trying to find the most fair solution that we can find. Um, like having of course, like we didn't want to happen to bands, but Professor did have a really good run, like only getting the Green Gate glitch first try, right? Like
Yeah.
um with that, like how volatile that trick is, it's like if we do another re-race, like I feel like most race tournaments would do that, but like
Yeah,
Super
did you
Metroids are
see?
different.
I'm gonna just yeah. Did you see that D boost from Professor School?
Yeah, the Honda strat, that was sick.
Holy cow! I got to give Professor School mad props for jumping in and running like this again because, like you said, he was on really sick rhythm, was playing extremely well, had a really good run going there, and you hate to see nice spring ball jump right there. You could imagine that it could tilt a runner to have to jump back into the game after pausing and having a discussion. So, mad props to Professor School for sportsmanship to continue under these circumstances. And I know Bands feels bad because game crash is very unfortunate, but those things happen. So, really, just great sportsmanship, and I hope we can all come to a fair accord when this is over. So, both runners feel like the best decision was made. But meanwhile, let's enjoy Professor School's movement. Like we said earlier, Prof has been working very, very hard, grinding down categories, and I would just love to see under duress, um, Prof pull together a really sick run for us. And here's that loop around right now. Professor School getting the items that we skipped before. We jumped over that E-tank earlier. Prof has already gotten high jump boots, and it's a major item anyways. We don't have to worry about that. So Prof is going to get this E-tank now, and now we have the entirety of Norfair, Lower Norfair, Upper Norfair completely done, completely empty. And Professor School is going to have to remember right now to get the missiles in Kraid's lair, and then after those missiles, we'll head through Meridia and then to Wreck Ship afterwards. Meanwhile, maybe we'll get some memeing from bands. We'll see. Oh, and also the crate E-tank as well. So Professor School opts to get that E-tank first. Let's see if we can get Professor School's audio on here. I have to find the controls.
Yeah, we switched audio.
Nice. I couldn't find the controls for some reason.
Yeah, I just realized I didn't have it up. Should have. Yeah, just trying to work it out with bands right now. But yeah, usually I actually get this. I get Kraid E-Tank after Kraid missiles because I try to go for the speedball, like the really dumb stutter 4-tap. Super tight, but it's really sick if you get it.
I think I go that way first because I think I watched your Max GT route. I might have taken that from you. I don't do the swaggy strat though.
Yeah, it's lame.
Now you notice Professor School skipped the speed missiles right there. We're going to be getting that later. It's more optimal to get that on your way out of Meridia because you're going to be going to Wreck Ship next. So really clever routing from Professor School right there. Going to go for this swaggy spark to Mama Turtle. Now, Mr. Guy Average, I like your strat, your hundo strat in this room when I do Max GT. So I space jump over. I get the missile first, the Mama Turtle missile first, and then I like that grapple strat to get that E-tank because it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I actually got that strat from Sephi. He also was grinding 100% early croc around the same time I was,
Nice.
and that's a really sick. It's grapple, early grapple strat. So, Just an FYI, if you run 100% and you do early croc, you are legally obligated to do that grapple strat in Mama Turtle. The spark is slower by exactly 1 second.
I got to tell you, that's actually cost me at least 2 PBs going for that grapple strap, but it's also gotten me 2 PBs as well.
There you go.
So grapple strats are swag. I used to be a grapple hater, but I got to tell you, I definitely love grapple now.
Yeah, there's so many cool like little subtle strats. It's not like some big gigantic time saver, but you can save like 15 frames here, 30 frames here, up to a second, maybe even 2 seconds. Grapple really does kind of it really helps out in a lot of rooms. Some people might not know.
Really crisp movement from ProfessorSchool right there, showing us some nice tight down grabs. So we're going to go into some of the often unseen areas of Super Metroid. Unless you watch Hundo or you watch GT Max, you're not going to see these rooms very often. And with all the movement items that you have right now compared to what you have in Hundo, there's just some really spectacular possibilities here with how you can route yourself through these rooms. ProfessorSchool right now is going to fight Batoon. And then after Batoon, just like Hundo, we're going to be heading to Dragon. And after you fight Dragon, there's some interesting ways you can kind of route the rest of Meridia. So it's very similar to Hundo, but it's not exactly like Hundo. And here's our first shot at microwave tech. Oh no, Prof. Prof was a little bit early on that. It's going to take 3 buffers to end Fantoon. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Fantoon. Batoon. And Prof is done. Prof opting to skip the full halfie, which in this category is not that much faster than space jump across the room. Oh, no.
Yeah. I think it was an Insane Firebat who tested it out. He did like a really cool room comparison where you do like the full halfie, then the halfie, and then if you like miss the full halfie, but you still get halfie, and then just space jump. And it turns out that space jump actually only loses like 2 seconds, 3 seconds maybe, if done right. So
yeah, Firebat has a lot of really cool comparisons, strat comparisons. I love those.
yeah, he's a huge fan of the GT Classic run, anything GT really.
Prof showing excellent rhythm with the grapple beam, playing right along with the tune. You know, Prof is a musician.
Jamming.
It actually sounded like the microwave was going with the music too. Prof, that's too swaggy. Holy crap. Hey, thanks for the raid. Why are the timers different? Basically, we had a crash. Unfortunately, BandsWithLegends RetroArch device crashed, and you know, we had a kind of an intermission, and in a display of sportsmanship, they Prof decided to run the race right now, and then have Bands run his offline, and then we would try to come up with a fair solution to match, match the times. Kind of reconstruct Band's run, while Prof started. Now, that does kind of put Prof at a little bit of a disadvantage because Prof was having a very good run, and now it's kind of like, well, we had a pause, and that can be tough when you're, kind of in your groove, in your rhythm. So we'll do our best to come up with something that, the runners can live with as far as how it turns out after Bands gets a chance to re-race his race here. That was a really nice short charge there from ProfessorSchool. That's a pretty tight one.
Yeah, he was going for the blue bomber, almost had it, just missed that deboost. It was a really good entry.
I really like Meridia. I've always liked all the musical stuff that happens in Meridia. This is a pretty cool section right here where you get to skip spring ball. You don't have to go see Shack Tool, so you can go a little bit faster. A lot of us runners like that.
Yeah, you don't have to wait 2 minutes or something like that.
It's a long cutscene. It's basically a short bathroom break.
I've actually gone to the bathroom during Shack Tool.
I was gonna say, I think we all have. So I always think like that. Somebody goes to Shack Tool, and then you look on their stream, and there's just a morph ball rolling around for a little bit too long. So I wonder if Prof is going to go with the green gate glitch. So I feel like it's a pretty good risk if you only. I mean, he's got 19 supers right now.
Yeah, I believe when I first timed this, it was about 7 seconds, maybe faster, to get this green gate glitch.
Nice.
Nice, he gets it, yeah. Something around there. So it's a pretty nice time save compared to having to go up the tube instead. And then you don't have to get plasma beam, right? So there's no reason to go up the tube. But that was kind of like what the traditional Honda route would do. You go up the tube and then you go through Cack Alley instead. Just a bit longer. It's much faster to go through this bottom area instead, and then you get straight to Aqueduct.
I'm going to have to remember that because in my route, I actually do go up the toilet just like I do in Hundo. Because in Meridia can be so tricky to route sometimes. It's like, well, I know this route because of Hundo. And, you got some of that muscle memory too that's kind of hard to break unless you're a super focused runner.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird because like max percent is like so similar to Hundo. But there's so many like of these subtle things that you don't really think about. It's really easy to confuse the two, I believe.
Yeah, a lot of these completionist categories are all run different. Hundo's run different than Max GT. Both of those runs are completely different to Mappo or True Completion. And they, it's pretty neat how it's laid out.
Definitely. I think that's one of the great things about, Super Metroid is like you can have all these categories that are still so different. You never run out of fun.
Nope. So Prof has one more green gate glitch to do right now. I believe that's a really nice setup right there. And here's an intended way to get these missiles, by the way. Not something you normally see either.
Yeah.
And we're going to get these right here because we're going to come right out of Meridia, right up into Wreck Ship.
Yeah, super nice routing. And yeah, you usually never see the intended strat, and even when you see the intended strat, it's usually slower, but not in this case.
That's kind of funny. Menuing. It's a really nice room from Prof.
It's really easy to forget these missiles. Because usually you already have alpha power bumps. You're like, oh, I've been there. I don't need to go back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not the only area we're revisiting. It can be common sometimes to visit wreck ship. You know you already killed Fantoon. Maybe you go to Spiky Room of Death first and you completely avoid the east and west missiles, or maybe you forget about the spooky missiles. And by the way, that room is turned on. Oh no, Bands is going to have some. Oh, there he goes. Managed to take out Kraid. Had a little bit of trouble there. Thought Kraid was going to stand up.
That was a nice recovery.
What's your favorite section of Max GT code as far as the item cleanup is concerned?
Good question. I really like the. I think Upper Norfair is actually pretty unique. The routing is really cool. And then also Wreck Ship. I think it's one of those two. Wreck Ship is like so different than any other category. You
I was
have
going
all
to
these
say,
movement items.
yeah, now that Prof is going into wreck ship right now, wow, what a swaggy mock ball there. That was pretty neat. Yeah, wreck ship is a really cool section of this category. I like watching it a lot, and it's not just the movement items, but you're coming in here in a different scenario. Look at this room, by the way. You got a lot of really cool deboosts you can do in the wreck ship, which I love about it. It's pretty neat.
Definitely, yep. Yeah, these deboosts are super cool. You have Attic where with Screw and Space Jump. It's also really sick. And then also, if you're ballsy enough, you can go for the Crystal Flash clip into the top of Wreck Ship. And that way you can actually skip bowling. And it saves like something like a minute. Because you don't have to do that cutscene and you don't have to like run all the way over there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think we've seen a couple of y'all do that. I know Seuss Ream does that. I've seen MM2 do that, and I'm pretty sure you did that in your Max GT run.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, that involves, for anybody that's wondering what that is, that involves intentionally damaging down yourself so that by the time you reach wreck ship, you're in crystal flash range, and then you basically clip yourself into the wall just outside gravity suit, and you can X-ray climb right to the gravity suit location, so you can skip bowling because we've already done it at the beginning of the run. So it's really a neat trick. So check out other people's Max GT code streams. We have a lot of really good Max GT runners in the community that are still actively running this category. So it's pretty neat to see it showcased in this tournament. You know what I want to learn? I want to learn those grapple deboosts that you do there.
Oh yeah, those are sick. One of the many benefits of having grapple beam. It's cool that grapple beam has that kind of feature. If you like, grapple beam is sort of like literally extending your arm. So if grapple beam touches something that gives you damage, then you take damage. Of course, like the thing that you're grappling onto has to be like a grappable object, and that's like a feature that you have to code in. So that's why it doesn't happen with enemies, because most enemies you can't be grappled.
So that room right there, Professor School, is my least favorite room in the game. I can guarantee that. That's my least favorite room.
Oh, that's everybody's least favorite room in Hundo.
So, but just worth mentioning that when Prof did his attic strat right there, he did it right, going to the left first, taking out the enemies on the left, and not worrying about the ones on the right until you go back, rather than doing it like Hundo, where you do it the opposite.
And yeah, so if you did the bowling skip like we mentioned, then you'd be able to skip this section right here. Having to go through this room with Ice Beam, super annoying. And then yeah, bowling.
Where do you? Some runners opt to turn off their ice beam, usually before Pink Brinstar, right? Where would you menu that off?
Yeah, usually since I do the bowling skip, it's super easy to menu off Ice Beam because then I also menu off Morph Ball to keep the X-ray climb super consistent. Because you can accidentally Morph Ball and then soft lock. So um, that's when I usually do it. If you don't do the clip, I feel like the best time to do it would either be on an elevator. You could do it before Meridia even, and you might be able to do different strats that way in Meridia without having to worry about ice freezing enemies and stuff like that. You could do it up Red Brinstar elevator, and you could also do it down Criteria elevator. Um, and then you can also do it during Sparks too.
Yeah, you can save some of the time with the crash animation.
Yeah, it's sort of like you don't really have anything to do, so you might as well pause now. That type of thing.
I actually do that. I do that in Hundo when I spark in Everest because I like to have Spazer and Wave equipped for the wraparound shot for Gauntlet. So when before I go to Meridia because I want to do X Factors on Batoon and Dragon, I like to spark to Everest and then use that to pause to menu those items.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Prof is actually getting close to one of my favorite sections of the game. No matter what category I'm playing, I love being in pink and green Brinstar. So Prof right now is going to get criteria PBs, and then we're going to do gauntlets. So this is very similar to Hundo. You know, you're going to get these two items in their exact order, and then you're going to get those, for those missiles that everybody hates, the crumble missiles. And after that, we get that wonderful return to green and pink Brinstar, and I just love it when that music kicks in again. And for me, that whole item selection, or that whole item collection section, is just so awesome. Prof setting up this wraparound shot, so this can be a tricky setup with plasma.
Yeah, Plasma's a little different. The beam is wider, and if you, it's not actually. I misspoke. Spazer is wider than Plasma, and then Plasma has this weird like oscillation thing that it does, to the point where it actually even becomes like one beam or close to. So it's really easy for it to just like miss things entirely compared to Spazer.
Holy crap, Prof, that was bold. Wow, those quick drops were incredible.
Dang, yeah. Uh, I wouldn't even do that in a race.
Whew. The only category I do that in is when I get in when I do RBO, because I get the Gauntlet E tank, and then that's the only time I will quick drop because I
Right.
don't need those missiles for percentage.
Yeah, so you're just like, all right. Yeah, that's such a good feeling. In map completion, you do that too. It's just like, oh, I don't need these missiles, so I'll just straight through the
That
combo blocks.
is kind of fun. Now here we go. We got that beautiful green Brinstar music. Here's what I always miss. Prof being smart.
Didn't forget.
Didn't forget. I forgot this morning, and then I knew it. It's the second or third time I've done that. It can be really hard to come back to here because this is the first thing you do really. This is like when a speed run really starts. Is that early supers mock ball. So you don't think to come back here. This is the only category I can think of that revisits um, early supers at this point. It's weird.
Well, lucky for you, there is another category, and it's
Oh
called
yeah.
Club Nintendo Percent.
Oh man. Oh yeah. I actually wanted to run that. I forgot all about that, dude. Nice mock ball. By the way, that reverse mock ball is different when you have space jump. It's a little bit different than how you do it in Hundo without space jump. The timing is definitely different. So that was really swaggy for Prof to pull that off.
Yeah, definitely. It's way tighter, and you have high jump and speed booster. It's just yeah.
So miss Moonfall input there from Prof, but gonna go over here, get some supers. So, and BandsWithLegends gonna make his way to the gravity suit and then down to lower Norfair. So as we saw earlier in the race. Oh no. This is where, like you were saying, that ice beam gets trolly. Fortunately, Professor School does not visit the Decora. So we're going to see right here now is a very popular Hundo strat. We're going to see Professor School will set up for a Mission Impossible. Excellent D-boost right there. So gets the quick drop. This should be good.
Nice.
And the D-boost out.
Yeah, as long as you get the correct entry, all you really have to do is hold jump, and then in the text box you hold right. That's about it. Pretty easy to buffer.
I will admit I have yet to make it, but I've only tried it about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's really one of those tricks that you just have to understand before going for it, you know? Once you get it, it's like, you usually get it almost every run. I think the hardest part is actually getting that quick drop.
I know you have to be you have to have a pretty big jump for that, because if you just do a regular quick drop without a higher jump, I think you need more downfall, I think, to make that work.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's either Behemoth or Zenny. Like Zenny, I think does like a very tiny jump into there.
Oh
So his
wow.
setup might be a little different. I don't know. But yeah, you don't have to have too much downwards velocity. There's usually enough time for you to get enough velocity to quick drop fast enough.
So Prof is almost done with his item collection right now. Really got just a few bit left. Gonna get this waterway E-tank. And then after the waterway E-tank, we'll go and get the pipe missiles in green Brinstar, and then go into the blue Brinstar cleanup, which is pretty much identical to Hundo. And that'll be the last thing Prof does before he heads to Turian and Mother Brain.
Yeah, he's nearing the end here. It looks like this is going to be a pretty good time for him, I think, actually. He should get to G4 around 1:15, and then you just add 7 minutes. 8 minutes maybe at max at your G4 time, and that's your final time. So a 1:23 is nothing to be mad about in this category.
Yeah, especially, yeah. I'm just happy to watch Prof race. ProfessorSchool is one of my favorite runners. I do enjoy watching the professor streams, and really a very dedicated Super Metroid runner and a very knowledgeable and respected member of the community. So really cool to be here for you, Prof. Glad to see you finish this run.
Yeah, he's a great runner. Only been running for like a year and a half now, I think. And he's made such great progress. He's gotten so much better in that time.
Did we just have Bands reset? Did he have a reset at the green gate? I think so.
Yeah. It's the GGG, unfortunately.
Super Metroid, dude.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, that's unfortunate.
Well, I think you and I were talking a little bit about GT categories prior to this race start, and that was one thing we talked about. Is there's so many like I've gotten through the green gate and then died to the acid after already having a reset. It's just GT category could be very, very frustrating, but it's definitely one of those categories I find to be extremely well rewarding. Like after you grind down a time and you get a time that you're really proud in this category, it feels really, really good because of how many different things you have to remember, just how volatile the early game is, and just how crisp your movement has to be in the late game. I find Max GT to be one of the most satisfying categories to complete and feel like you had a good run.
Yeah, it's an awesome category for sure. Really tough to grind, but as you said, well rewarding. All right, and it looks like Professor is in the final stretch. Only 2 items left. This is no longer the 230 missiles. It is the 325 missiles.
Yeah,
Still
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's still the final missile that you collect, but it's not 230.
That's where the 230 joke comes in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and if this is a Bands re-race, this is going to be going to be really hard for Bands to catch up to Professor School's time with the two resets there and the death. You know, but either way, really nice entry back into the Green Pirate Room from Professor School. And I do enjoy Professor School's Turian, so let's all wish Professor School good luck as he sits at G4. Everybody's favorite bomb practice. I have no interest in doing late croc like ever in Hundo, but I like to practice the bomb jump that you do to get the E tank without having grapple. I like to practice that bomb strat, but just never have any use for it in any of my runs. Oh heck, dude, Bands just missed the GT missiles he quick dropped. Holy crap! Oh, sorry, Bands. You got to be tilted after something like that happens to your game. It's got to be frustrating for both runners, but you know, really good sportsmanship here to play on. See how this turns out. Let's have Professor School take us home in Turian. Wow, beautiful Metroid Room 1.
Good Metroid Room 1, yeah.
Almost optimal Metroid Room 2. So really, really fast Turian. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good time. So I wouldn't expect that Professor School's on PB pace, but like you were saying, yeah, this is a really good max GT time. My goodness.
Good baby skip. As long as you get it, it's good.
So I do the same thing. I take off screw attack and I do the Zeb skip. I just haven't had any luck with oh no. I haven't had any luck with the spring ball Zeb skip. I haven't really quite learned it. Boy, Prof really getting trolled by this room. Holy crap. It's like one of those unusual things that happens to every runner once in a while. Strat, you just do easy and look just right in the room first try, no problem. This game. So Prof is going to damage down right now because of all the extra E-tanks that we picked up throughout the run. Want to get his energy a little bit low so that it has time to damage down properly for the stand-up glitch. I gotta tell you, even though Professor School's had some rough spots in this run, if he finishes this run, I do not expect Bands re-race to be capable of beating this time, just with the deaths on the GGG resets. I know you don't want to call anything before it's over, but odds are looking pretty good in Professor School's favor right now. So I think coming into this race, the runners' PBs were separated by just over about a minute, minute and a half. I know Professor School has a 121 and Bands a 123. I'm not quite sure what happened to Professor School's stream right now, but
I was about
looks
to
like
say
we
that,
survived.
dude, that's like the worst place to get stream lag, because then you're like, oh no, did he soft lock or something?
Yeah, this stand-up glitch. So it would have been nice to have seen these runners, be able to go without that game crash on Bands with Legends side. But um, I would say I don't expect Bands is going to be able to make up this time because Prof is going to finish with what a 120, high 123, maybe 124. But I'm thinking Bands' PB is only is not only Bands' PB is a pretty awesome 123, but I don't expect you could get a 123 with 3 resets. I like that, leaving the one shot in the face at the end. Get out of my face, mother brain. Let's see if Bands gets this fire flea set up. Nope, not that time. Yeah, this is going to be a 123 for Prof. This is still a killer time. I know Prof is a very, very strong critic of himself. Really tough on himself with some of his runs, but absolutely impressive run, especially under the situation that we were in. I think this was a really great run, Professor. I'm really glad you did it.
Yeah, to be
Glad
able to
you're able
bust
to
out a
post it.
run like to be able to bust out a run like this, with that like break in the middle, is really, really great. Definitely shows his skill. And yeah, 123 is nothing to be ashamed about.
I know I might have been too tilted to even run.
That's a GG to Prof with a 123.10 maybe. Well, we're gonna have to frame count this one, but yeah,
Professor.
GG. So yeah, let's see if we can get him for an interview.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Welcome, Professor.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I was really, really sorry about the luck, but I got to give you a lot of credit for being a good sportsman, getting out there and really pulling off a heck of a run under the circumstances, and still giving us a show. And I thought that was really sporting of you, and so thank you very much for that. It was an honor to be here to call this for you.
Thanks, Kev. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a strange circumstance for sure. Don't really know what to make of it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to happen. As a tournament organizer, I guess I should have, but I hope like we can just make something fair for both parties. But yeah, at any rate, I mean, having a 123.11 is really sick in this category with the gravity route. Fantoon wasn't so kind, but I think you pulled off a lot of great strats. A lot of good moments in that run. getting
Thank
first
you.
try. GGG is second try, one of those, but I mean, yeah, pretty sick.
Yeah, I got the first try, lower North Air green gate glitch. I had a little trouble the first time through the Meridia green gate, but then I nailed the running 2-frame setup for the second time, so that felt good. Fantoon was weird. I was thinking like, man, wouldn't it be wild? I just accidentally got rid of my last missile. I don't have a missile. I need to farm a little bit more. Okay, good. I'm going to get a slow. Wouldn't it be weird if Fantoon gave me a mid right now? What if I get the rare mid? And I did. And I just decided that rather than take the off screen, which could be another slow if I'm unlucky, I would just take the time. I don't know what the calculation is there with the super. And I was like, whatever, it's 6 missiles. And then I got like another slow after that. And so it was just really not cooperating. If you look at my timer, I was plus 55 at G4, and then I was plus 1 minute 37 at the end of it. It's one of the worst Turians I've ever had. You'd think that I missed baby skip, but I didn't. I just had piss poor Metroid rooms, and then I don't know what happened. My down back skip has been fine as of late, and I've always been able to convert it into like the quick damage skip with the screw attack turned off, and I just got like bad RNG, or I didn't handle it well, and it just was a complete disaster, and I reset the room. So I don't know. I'll just say it's certainly weird stopping a race for like 15 minutes to figure it out, but I guess we made the best of it. So
Yeah, I mean, there's no real precedent on what to do with that, and that's why I said, it's good sportsmanship. I mean, we can, talk about it. Hopefully, you have a good feeling still going into your next 2 races, and we'll have to see what the, result of that race is. I think it would be fair to see how those races turned out first before we came to any, permanent decision about this. But, again, I'm just really thankful that I was here to at least watch you run. It's great to watch you run, and I'm really happy I was here. And yeah, it'll all come out in the end.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's a good time for sure. I felt really good about everything despite the Fantoon problems through Band's crash. I mean, I feel awful for Bands because like it's a cruddy situation for everyone. Nobody wants this to happen, and I know I was looking forward to my matchup with him. I know a lot of other people were as well, and I mean, he's definitely maybe the most evenly matched person that I have in the whole tournament as far as like if you look at our cumulative PBs. So I'm really hyped about this matchup. I felt really good racing as well as I did through the first half of the race. And then, I don't know. I don't want to say the wheels fell off. Like, I played mostly pretty well in the second half except for Turian. And like MGA said, I pulled off a bunch of good strats. But, I don't know. Turian feels bad, and I mean, at least I got the 135% confirmed here on the screen, so that's good. And if I pull out a win here, that's what I really need, because Bands has been really pushing 69 and any percent, which are probably going to be the next 2 categories. And I'm gonna need this win. Hopefully, get it here to give myself a chance. Right? I've been grinding down North Korea percent, and he's just gonna veto it. So.
Most likely. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Bands. I'm certain Bands, feels extremely bad about the situation as well. It's not anything anybody looked for, but watching his run right now, and with the time penalty he had before, it would be highly unlikely that I think he can pull this one off. Bands did have 3 resets. Ended up missing the green gate glitch, and then got it, and then died in the acid, and then had to go through that all over again. And with that penalty, I don't think it's time possible.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We got 2 races on Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. I almost wish I could be in the booth for those races. If they're going to be hyped, I'm so excited.
Well, I can't believe you're not going to calm your own race, bro.
I'll do it.
So
yeah, but just to make it clear for everyone, the result of this race won't even matter unless we make it to 1-1.
Right.
So yeah, so we still have 2 other races to go for, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. So I can't play like I'm up 1-0 if I win today. Then I have to wait. Is that right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right.
Pretty much. Just win 2
Okay.
races, Prof. Come on, it's easy.
Yeah, I'll wait. So is that confirmed? We're racing both, regardless of what happens on Saturday.
Yes.
I understand now. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this race is like really only the backup. Because we can't race a 4th time, so it's really just this is the backup in case it comes to 1-1.
I mean,
But
we
we
could race a fourth time. It happened in this tournament like 3-4 months ago. Didn't someone have a frame perfect tie or something like that? Didn't
yeah.
MM2 and someone else have a frame perfect tie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's Cash and MM2.
So we could race a fourth time.
then
What
we'd
if
have to wait 2 weeks.
what if we get the exact same time in this GT Max race? But then
That would be a scenario we don't want to have to face.
no, I'm just being silly. Don't pay any attention to me.
So, but I guess we'll all have to see. I personally, I had a really good time tonight. I hope we, find a good scenario. But I do have to run. It is a little bit late for me, and I just want to thank everybody in the chat for being here and watching the race and sticking with us. And Professor School, Bands, Mr. Guy Average, thanks for having me on. And I'm just glad I was at least here to spend my evening with y'all.
Thanks for coming, Kev. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kev. Have a good evening, man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody.
All right, joining me in the commentary booth is Mr. Guy Average.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Weird night for sure. This is definitely a first in my book.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna check real quick what the schedule is for SpeedGaming. We'll see if we can stay on. Okay, well, it looks like we have no more races today. So, we get to watch Bands finish this one out.
I think I can hang out for a few minutes here. I have a pretty early morning and I have not eaten dinner yet because it's kind of the weird timing for this race. But
Yeah.
I'll keep you company for a little bit, MGA, and then I think I'll bow out a little before the end of the race.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. I had to fit in lunch right before this. Or not lunch, sorry, dinner. Before I started coming this. Yeah. Band's going for the slower Spark strat in Mama Turtle. As I mentioned earlier, the grapple strat is actually 1 second faster.
Is it really a full second faster?
Yep.
Ah, heck. All right. I also saw that Cutie came up with something recently that I think may be even faster than the grapple strat. Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah, but it's very...
It's insanely difficult, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get a frame perfect spring ball jump out of the missile.
Oh, I got you. So I actually, for the first time all tournament, was not listening to commentary because I knew that this was really the big important one for me and I needed to get a W here and I just wanted to be 100% focused. So I pretty much just had the window open to see if like something went horribly wrong and then it did. So I'm glad I was paying attention. Yeah, I guess I should learn that. This is what I get for learning late croc and then never actually having grapple in that room.
Yeah. I mean, not even most people know about that strat, even the top players. I didn't know about that until I saw Sephi going for it and practicing it. I was like, oh wait, what is that strat? And then my eyes were open to the beauty of grapple beam.
Yeah, grapple's pretty dope. But what am I gonna do? I'm a late croc guy. I don't know that I'm gonna change all of a sudden.
Can't believe you don't want to save that juicy second.
Well, I should certainly learn that strat. That's for sure. I'll go check out one of your streams or one of Sephi's VODs. The other grapple strat I have not learned, which I need to, is the reverse spiky room of death, the setup for that coming out of electric room of death. I know there's a really sweet D-boost, and I'm pretty sure the first time I ever saw that was in the multi-category tournament, and it was you doing it, and I just never got around to learning it. It's just too much to learn for this 5-category tournament.
Yeah, there's a lot for sure, definitely.
Most of the time I'm just panicking to figure out if I actually remember the dang route.
Yeah. Definitely took me a lot of runs to even get the route down and not miss a bunch of items all the time.
I'm thinking maybe doing a couple new route runs just for the memes. See if I can shave 6 minutes off my PB by going for zero tank lava dive. I know there's a nice setup that you and Hero use that I think is what Zenny showed you. Is that right?
Yeah. If I remember how it went, it was like Beefy tasked it out, and then Zenny was like, "Let me try and make this RTA possible," and then Zos was actually the first one to do that, and then they both started doing runs.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Definitely give credit to Beefy for testing that out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was actually known to be possible in PAL, but I guess no one ever like just tried in NTSE until maybe year or two ago. I guess I think it was 2 years ago at this point.
Nice full happy from Bands there.
Yeah. I saw you. Did you not even go for the full halfie? Is that what I heard?
No, I didn't. In GT Max, I tend to not go for it. I've been having some weird up input ghosting on my D-pad recently, and so I've been unspinning a lot. And I just thought that was safer. And then of course I went and bonked the dang ceiling in Coliseum and made everything worse. So.
I mean, it's not even that bad with space jump. It doesn't even lose you that much time. And then, but if you bonk, then yeah, it's unfortunate.
So I'm curious. Bands took a bunch of damage there intentionally. I don't know if you've talked about this with Kev at all. Do you reckon he might be going for bowling skip?
Yeah, we touched upon it while you were in Wreck Ship. I'm not sure if he will go for it. I don't think he does. As far as I
asked
know,
because of he took a ton of damage there from those turrets.
Yeah, it might just be memeing it up. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, did you see me get the bad frame on Spike Suit here in Dragon?
Yeah, it was.
Oh man, I was so bummed about that. I've been hitting it so well, and then I thought I was like, oh, I got it. Nope, bad frame.
Yeah, it's already hard with string ball, and then you get bad framed, and you're like, okay, GG. Thank you, game. I was
so tilted from getting bad frame that I missed Womple badly. Ugh, the worst, man, the worst. Oh, just missing that moonfall. It's a cute little strat. I like that one. And this is an interesting room here. This is something I actually picked up from Zenny's 100% runs. You can buffer, when you're holding run there, coming into Batoon, post Batoon, you can actually buffer jump through the door, and then all you need to do is release left in the D-pad and touch right, and you auto spin jump up to the E-tank. It's a really, really neat little trick.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I was timing the jump press too, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's so much simpler than timing it. You don't have to have any shenanigans with the sand or anything like that, or bonking, and then the whole thing gets slow. Or you try to, or look what happens in my race against the stream. You try to turn around and you quick drop through the sand without getting the item.
I've had some close calls for sure.
Do you moonfall into the sand there to try to save that second, or do you just go for the quick drop and the more fun morph?
I go for the quick drop right now, but I really should learn that moonfall.
I'm pretty sure it's a full second saved.
Yeah, something like that. It's you just zoom through the sand.
Yeah, if you just have to wiggle back and forth to can maintain your falling speed. And then the other thing is you have to aim down when you land in the sand in in the left sand pit room there, or you'll bounce off the sand, which is kind of wild.
You bounce.
Oh, I bonked this door. It felt so bad.
Bless GGG.
I think Bands goes for it the first time and not the second time. Oh, space jump setup. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to go for it out of the space jump.
Interesting. Huh.
There it is. I wonder if that's also a 2-frame setup.
With
the way that I do it with the long run. No, what he just did when he ran back and grabbed it.
Yeah.
On the little run up. I know the way that I do it is a 2-frame setup, but I don't know about that short run up.
It should be 2 frames, but honestly, I don't really know.
I saw pretty hyped. GT Classic World Record holder Ruya has been working on GT Max recently and has been doing some really sick strats, including one that I had not seen previously. I mean, I'm sure Stream has probably done it, but a really, really fast setup for that GGG. Whereas I use a standardized setup. I don't know if you caught this. It's pretty easy to just run into the crab to normalize your run speed, and then shoot 2 missiles immediately upon hitting the crab to kill the one next to the gate, and then you can do that 2-frame run up. It's a nice little standardized setup.
Yeah, I do something a little similar. I also take damage from the crab, but then I have like a visual cue where I jump a little bit before the crabs, and I usually get that GGG like 75% of the time, I'd say.
Yeah, the 2-frame setup is pretty good, and I mean, you'd think that it's only twice as easy getting a 2-frame setup versus a 1, but it feels like 4 times as easy with that 2-frame setup. It feels like you have an eternity to get it.
Yeah, this Meridia gate is just kind of weird with that. I feel like I usually do get that more consistently than anything.
There we go. 3 to spare.
And we'll got it.
Oh, I get so nervous. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay. He normalized his setup. I get so nervous charging the spark before the door that just like, I'm going to do something dumb, and I always just try to hit it right after the transition.
I feel like hitting it right after transition is a little bit scarier, because like if you don't do it like within 3 frames or something, you don't get it. It's kind of a short window to get that down press.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And I don't think there's a good visual cue, like in double chamber with like the platform activating or something.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Strat Chat with MGA and the Professor.
Welcome, guys. Today we're strat chatting about max percent GT code, the completionist category that no one cares about.
When is max percent true completion?
Funny you say that. We were actually discussing it with MM2 a bit ago.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Did it start as a Mappo discussion and then change to a true completion discussion?
Yeah, so GT Mappo is actually going to be pretty sick. Max percent true completion is pretty similar to the standard max percent GT route. You just have to pick up the major items essentially to get those tiles. So yeah, not as interesting, unfortunately. But GT Mappo though, that's going to be the next hot thing. Just you wait.
Speaking of meme categories, we have two new world records since the last time we were on comms together in Free the Decora RTA.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm a bit sad. I'll admit that we no longer have tied world records, but you know.
Yeah, that tied world record with you and Cross Product with the 2 different routes is pretty sick.
Yeah, unfortunate. But, you know, now that just means I have to come back to reclaim my world record.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you were doing it with reserve tank, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you save? 15, 20 seconds not picking that up, probably?
I assume, yeah. I think. Not really sure how long it takes to grab it.
The item fanfare, 2 door transitions, that right there is like 18 seconds, right?
No, I think it's more like 14, 15.
Oh, no, you're right, sorry. I was including the in-room time.
Yeah, with in-run time it should be like 18. But yeah, I'm also thinking maybe I'll skip high jump as well. Just go all in and go for
Ooh.
the sub 12.
Oh boy. It's definitely possible. I timed out high jump route to like 11:40 or something like that, and bootless route to like, I want to say like 11:19 or something. But I'm pretty sure I was doing it with reserve tank, and I didn't actually do the TAS out, but if you ran like Behemoth and Zenny's Croc RTA route for Free the Decora, I'm pretty sure you could get a really high 10 if you ran like perfect strats.
That's pushing it, man. I don't know about that, but when I
Yeah, it
timed
would
it
be
out,
insanely difficult.
yeah, it was more like and I'm not good at short charging super tight, so I'd have to wait like 2 extra door transitions to get a spark up red tower.
Just gotta keep practicing your 13 tile Ridley E-Tank room short charges, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, because those are so free.
I did just get a short charge on the ship for the first time the other day.
Nice.
But I learned that it was like there's some shenanigans with that where because of the same reason that Slope Killer is a thing, I guess, your speed changes a little, your horizontal speed, when you're going on the slopes of the ship, and so it actually makes it slightly easier, even though that's the same number of tiles.
Yeah, the slopes make it more lenient.
Oh, really nice attic from the bands there. Oh, in this room, getting through this second robot with iframes, I just find impossibly difficult because you have screw attack, and I like the backup there using grapple to get through. That's clever.
Yeah, this room is pretty much impossible with screw.
Oh, that bonk feels bad. You can get such a nice upper attic here, a return attic, if you go through with space jump, and you can actually open the door clean through.
And the boring cutscene that you could skip, but people don't for some reason. It's free. All you have to do is just crystal flash clip, and then, using grapple beam, clip into a very specific part in the wall, and then X-ray climb up without soft locking. Sounds easy to me.
How prone is that is that X-ray climbed at soft locking. Is it easier because you have spring, so you're less likely? Or no, that has nothing to do with it. There's something with like morphing that's problematic there, isn't there?
Yes, if you morph, then if you're too far inside the wall and you morph, then you can't roll out. But you just turn off morph and you're fine. You have zero chance of soft locking, basically.
And it saves like what, 30 or 40 seconds? Is that right, or is it not that much?
Yeah, at least. Yeah, you could save like closer to like a minute.
Overall, really nice wreck chip here from Bands.
Yeah, relatively clean attic. Really no hiccups anywhere else, I think.
All right, I think I'll take us through to this next elevator transition, and then I'm going to get out of here. And it's a little after 9 o'clock in my time zone, and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I need to give myself some food before bed.
No obligation whatsoever. That was a really nice space jump through that room. It's really hard to get.
Yeah, it's very precise. Oh, I beefed this really bad. My setup for this, yeah, he's going for the free setup. That's nice. It's slightly faster to do the setup next to the door, but you just have to get the timing right on the shot release and run forward.
Yeah, the queue is kind of strange. You actually have to release it a little bit before you land.
Right, yep. But not too soon before you land, which is what I was doing. I think I missed it twice.
Just right. Not even going for the Teletubby Huggy. And he...
Oh no!
That's a rip.
Oh man. Oh, that feels bad.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, just a rough day. A rough day for Bands here. Unfortunately, starting with the crash.
Yeah, not something anybody wanted to happen, but, you know. It's just, what can you do?
Yeah,
oh, that's right. Bands, I forgot Bands is clockwise.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
This is a really long door transition. I think it's because you got spin jump and screw attack and speed echoes all at the same time or something like that.
I didn't see him get the missile.
Did he even pick up 230 missiles?
I don't know.
Oh goodness, that's great.
Yeah, I might have to fact check this one.
All right, well, I appreciate you and Kev doing comms, and I'm glad that I could sit in for a little while. It was actually a nice way for me to unwind after a high adrenaline, kind of a weird race. So I think with that, I forgot Bands goes around this way, so I'm not going to be waiting on that elevator transition.
Yeah, okay, no problem, man. Yeah, GG again on the race. Congrats, good luck on the second and third races, and we'll see you around.
Yep, thank you so much. Take care, and thanks for helping deal with this on the fly. I know it was a weird situation for everyone. I appreciate you keeping a cool head about it and helping us figure out what to do.
Of course, yeah.
I think we came to a reasonable solution. It was going to be atypical regardless of what we ended up doing, right? Like,
yeah,
if we re-raced from the beginning with a penalty, if we both started at the same time, but with the same separation in time, like, or if what we did tonight, I'm not sure really what the most neutral thing is. But I think it's a reasonable solution. I think if anything, I probably prefer this to any other option, because it's like, you get ready to race on a day, you're in a race mind frame. I'm kind of glad that we were able to do it the way that we did.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just to keep you running for sure. I think that's more fair to you.
Yep. All right. All y'all take care out there. Be well. Take care of each other. And MGA, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you around the bend.
Likewise, yeah. Take care, man.
Take care.
Cool. So, touching on Bands' route here, he does clockwise. Generally speaking, most runners do counterclockwise, which is similar to the Honda route. But he starts with Retro Brinstar first, which does lose, I think, 5 seconds, somewhere around that ballpark. I guess he just likes it more for some reason. I don't know why. The strats are a little different. Like, for this room coming up right here, when he gets the retro power bombs. Let's see if he goes for it. I think he should. Yeah, there you go. Might bonk, hopefully not. Nice. Oh, barely missed the mock ball. Yeah. So that's a cool little short charge that I really like doing. You don't really see that in any other route. Remembering to get pipe missiles, very good. I actually would probably forget this doing the clockwise route. There are definitely some different neat strats that you can do here and think about. But come on, you're losing 5 seconds. 5 seconds, Bands. Just think about the time loss. You also can't go for the Spore Spawn Speedball, unfortunately. Well, I guess you could, but it wouldn't save the same amount of time since you have to turn around and then go back up to grab the E-Tank. Another space-time warp. Saving some time there. Good job, Bands. You're hacking the mainframe. Unfortunately, missiles do not have the wave effect, but that just gave me a great idea for hacks. What if missiles could go through walls? Introducing wave missiles. Fusion had ice missiles, so why can't SM have wave missiles? Alright, hopefully Bands gets Mission Impossible here. Nice, it looks good. See if he buffers the jump. And he gets it, very nice. No deboost. Delayed speed booster, that's always sick strat. As far as I know, Hero was the first person to do something like that. So shoutouts to Hero82. That's where I got it from, at least. Neat strat for a lot of different categories, really. Like RBO, all bosses. What else? What max percent? Club Nintendo percent too. Another shoutouts to probably the worst category in the extension board. Okay, so looks like hopefully Bands remembers that he didn't get gauntlet missiles. Since he does clockwise, I would have expected him to just get it right there. The problem with doing clockwise is that you can't really get it at the end. Some more time space warping. And he's not getting it. There you go. Turns around. Remembers. Gotta get that 135%. Almost. That was a pretty sick space jump. The backups. Let's go. Sick wraparound. This is why you practice the backups, people. So you can show off and swag out even when you mess up. When messing up becomes cool. And that is the true 325 missiles. Guess we're gonna have to rename Gauntlet missiles right side to 325 missiles in honor of Bands. Because he's definitely the only person that's ever done that before. Should still be a pretty comfortable sub 130. I think, yeah. I mean, not atrocious. Space-time warp into Turian, perhaps? The fabled inbounds G4 skip. Okay, well, it looks like Bands forfeited anyways. Unfortunately, yeah, with like missing the gauntlet and then a lot of stuff happened throughout the run, and then having that 40-second time save. Or not time save, time loss. It's just unfortunate. So, let me check one sec. Yeah, at any rate, it sucks that the race came down to this. We still have 2 more races between these guys. We have 69% and all bosses back to back. So stay tuned for that. And we're back. The space-time warp even went through Baby Skip and Metroids. Nice. And Zeb Skip, please. There you go. Missiles of Love. Setting up for stand up. With very off, it's a lot easier. Because yeah, you only have to take that one hit. You get 6 E-tanks of health taken away from you rather than 3. Still need at least 7 though. Don't soft lock. There are a couple of ways you could soft lock in this fight with stand up. All of them very easy. So with stand up, you really have to know what you're doing. Nice fight. I think that's 0 shots for MB3. Nice. Well done. Really good stand up. And he's in the escape, the final stretch. Will he save the animals? Let's find out. I vote for killing the animals. You always save the frames. They'll find a way. They need to learn how to drive a ship. Or else how else are they going to save you in Fusion? You're teaching them now in Super Metroid, so they have 8 years to expand on their knowledge. And GG. 127.09 for bands. Not quite a PB, as he says in chat. Okay. So, yeah, that's a GG. Unfortunate the way this had to go, but, you know. Even with everything that happened, band still forfeited. So Prof does win this matchup. Now we're gonna see how the other ones go though first, before we count this one. And that's a wrap. Okay, well, thanks to everyone who's watching through all of this mess. I guess there's really nothing more to say than make sure to follow the runners. And if you want, follow the commentators. Only if you want. You don't have to. Follow the runners first. All right, then. We'll wait for the 135% or whatever percent. Hopefully it's 135. Oh,
Hello.
hey, what's up?
Not much, just confirmed 135%, I guess.
Nice.
I finished the run.
Valid run. This can go on the leaderboard.
Oh god, don't say this. Yeah, not quite a PB, but yeah, it is technically a valid run.
Yeah.
I went and got all the missiles and stuff. But yeah, I think besides the dying was bad. So dying's not good. And then missing the crumble blocks was also not good. But aside from all of those things, it honestly wasn't like a terrible run. But
Your ship was really solid.
Oh yeah,
you got a
ship
lot
was
of faster going. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really good, and I used the grapple strats, which this is the first time I've done it in a run. I've been practicing it a lot, trying to get the grapple and use like the damage boost with it. So that's really good.
Grapple OP.
Yeah. The grapple strats in this run are so cool. There's just like so many like little things here and there that are just like really cool. But yeah, yeah, most of the platforming was fine. It's mostly just like missing the missiles, and the route I do is just like so terrible. If you miss the missiles, it's really tragic.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting you to go get them right away. I feel like that would probably be the best time to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, in my brain, I was just like, I'm just gonna do my route and think about it later, kind of thing. And that would have probably been better. Would just be to go at the time, because then I think you're losing the least time. But at that point, I was kind of like, okay, well, this is a fun race. I guess I lose, which happens.
Happens, yeah.
But yeah,
definitely not the only person for that to happen to.
Yeah, I did better than my PB in a lot of splits, which isn't saying much because my PB is not amazing. But yeah, definitely some good movement. I liked the green hill zone. I usually don't get that trick, so that was really good. Just like where you jump and then so you align the door and you like jump into big pink like in a really inefficient way. That was really good.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was really cool.
I almost did the cool strat with the side hoppers in the Retrobrin Revisit, where it's like the morph BBs. I don't know what
the speedball.
Yeah, the speedball. I was very close to it,
Very close,
but I just didn't lock ball. It's such a tight window. It's super tough, but oh well. Check out my PB for that one.
Shameless plug. Hey, everyone, go to twitch.tv/BandsWithLegends to see his max percent GT code PB.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. But yeah, hopefully we won't even have to rely on the results of this race.
I forfeited in the Discord.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what? We're good. Let's not worry about penalties and stuff. It's we'll just go GG go next. Let's put it that way.
GG go to next.
Yeah.
So yeah, how are you looking forward to that 69%? It is your favorite category, right?
It is definitely my favorite category. We'll see if the taco tank comes out. I'm gonna threat. Just everybody on the lookout. We'll have to see how it goes this weekend and see if I'm getting it or not getting it.
All right, yeah. Well, bless Taco Tank. I would love to see that in a race.
Yeah, me too. Because I think I'll be the one who would get it. But
yeah. Yeah, you do a really cool route too. Without the revisit.
Yeah. And either way, I got to show off the 2 cool routes that I do.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that 69% run. And then what about all bosses? How are you thinking about that?
Should it come to all bosses? I think it's gonna be like a super tight race. Like I could see the all bosses being like less than 5 seconds between the 2 of us. It's just like we're so evenly matched in skill that I hope it goes to 3, and I hope that it's really too close. And all bosses is so just like core Super Metroid. You know what I mean? It's not. There's nothing fancy. No like make or break tricks besides like baby skip. I guess it's like your only make or break trick.
Yeah.
But it's just platforming. So it'd be really cool if we could get that. If I force the game 3, so to speak.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, anything else you have to say?
I'm gonna try and forget this ever happened as quickly as possible. That's
Alright,
my next
that-
goal.
that-
TBA.
Being said, all right. Sounds good. Let's all forget this ever happened and end this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Yeah, and I guess we'll see you all next mission. Make sure to
Yeah.
follow the runners. Follow the comms if you'd like. And yeah. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. And yeah, thanks for being so cooperative, Bands. Appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, see you Saturday.
See you all Saturday. Take care.